All right, family. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. That's right. Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, let me tell you, we are 5 days away from the midterm election, November 8th, 2022. What does that mean? We have an impactful show. One of our community leaders and experts. I just cheerlead for this gentleman. Elder Smith is going to join us. Everyone, stay tuned. Tell your friends and family. Senior Talk is here. We're also representing Senior Votes Matter because we know it does. Everyone, stay tuned. We'll be right back after our opening. Thank you for making us a part of your day, and we'll catch you right after our opening. All right, family. As mentioned, we are here today. It is 5 days away from the midterm election, November 8th, 2022. Now is the time to be engaged, to be knowledgeable, and we're here to bring it to you. But I wouldn't be selfish because I know I represent Senior Votes Matter, also the host of Senior Talk, your granddaughter in the community. But over the months, I can only cheerlead for our good friend Craig Wimberly of the Code Policy. Let me tell you, Craig said, hey, you have to meet Elder Smith. He is boots on the ground. He stays on the ground. He's engagement specialist. He is that guy. So guess what? I had the honor of meeting him and have been none other than impactful by what he has shared. This past Saturday, we did a voter engagement rally at the Fellowship Hall at Apostolic Church of God. It was a beautiful engagement. Top leaders in the city talking about voter registration. And as one of my seniors said, Mr. William Scott, we need 100% participation and 100% voter turnout. So I'm going to just sit back and welcome Elder Smith to Senior Talk. Tell them who you are, Elder Smith. Let's talk about the organization that you so proudly represent. And then let's dig in more into our impactful show today.
Well, great. Thank you, Claire, for having me on this afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure and honor to be a part of your show today. First and foremost, my name is Elder Layaird Smith. That's what they call me. Layaird is fine. Whatever you want to call me is good. Just don't call me late for dinner, okay?
All right.
And but we're making a lot of impact, a lot of noise in the community. I represent the community engagement ministry here at the Apostolic Church of God, and that ministry is called the Evangelism of Grace.
Yeah.
In Evangelism of Grace, our tagline is that we're spiritual in nature, but we're civic in execution. Okay? Spiritual in nature, but we're civic in execution. And I don't want anybody to be confused that Jesus was definitely politically inclined, and he was dealing with the political forces at during his time as well. So let's not be confused about that. The other thing is that the way that the evangelism of grace is actually set up. First of all, let me just say this: that the evangelism of grace is the vision of our pastor, Dr. Byron T. Brazier. He is the pastor of the Apostolic Church of God. And as you know, the Apostolic Church of God has a legacy of being involved in the community from our late bishop, Bishop Arthur M. Brazier. So this is nothing new for our church. This is actually the DNA of the Apostolic Church of God. So it's with great pleasure that I'm engaged in this voter engagement initiative, that we're engaged with this voters engagement initiative. The way that the evangelism of grace is actually set up is that we have our leaders that are members of our congregation, and they represent leadership in each one of the zip codes throughout the city of Chicago, primarily on the south side and in the south suburbs and on the west side. Okay.
So
So
let me say this. That's why I was going to ask you that. You answered my question. When we were at the rally, there were those with T-shirts that had their zip code on the back. That's what that. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense now. All
yeah.
right.
So we continue to host events that are specifically deals with the relevant issues of
Mm-hmm.
each one of those zip codes. We know that we all have a lot of things in common, but then there's other things that are specifically directed towards that particular zip code, and the leaders bring those out. So this past weekend, we had an event here at the church. It was the voters engagement rally.
Mm-hmm.
So just to kind of give you a background, people say, well, are we focusing on voters registration? Yeah, voters registration is just part of what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
The voters engagement initiative actually focuses on three things. We focus on registration, we focus on education, and we're focusing on mobilization. And if all three of those have to take place in order for us to experience what we're looking at is a improvement in voter turnout at the polls.
Okay, do that for me again. Say that one more time.
Yes,
The
yes.
focus.
The three things we focus on: voters registration,
Mm-hmm.
voters education,
Mm-hmm.
and voters mobilization. All right, in order to impact voter turnout at the polls.
All right,
Okay.
stand by, because we have one of our other powerhouses joining us, Dr. Gale Frazier. We're just going to bring you back in a short moment, but Elder Smith. Okay, let's get back to the three things one more time, and then we're going to have a gumbo conversation.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So again, I like to keep the whole concept real simple, and it's real simple is we focus on registration, education, and mobilization. So everything that we do is going to fall in one of those three categories in order to be able to have a direct impact on voter output, voters getting to the polls on election day.
Mm-hmm.
Let me also reiterate that this is not a something that we just do, you know, during election time. This is something ongoing.
Yes, it
We
should be.
have to always be focused on voter. That's why we call it voter engagement,
Mm-hmm.
keeping the voters engaged. So this weekend we had an awesome event. We had some very powerful speakers. One of them is with us today. Someone I look up to who is a great role model, Dr. Gale Frazier. Um, but yeah, we had others, and the whole focus of the event was to give the charge to why it's important for us to vote.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much on the line right now, and up to the degree we're being impacted from so many areas.
Yes.
I mean, we hear a lot about the violence, but you don't hear a lot about root cause for the violence.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, you hear what we see are the symptoms that are coming from the violence, which is the shootings and the people dying. And I mean, this is it's devastating, but I don't want everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
But what the focus, it's important for us to get out and vote and put the right people in leadership, because in order to make a real impact in our communities, we got to have the right leadership in place to be able to do that. So voting is so critical at all levels, at multiple levels. No matter where you can literally tie every issue that we're experiencing in our community to some part of the voting process.
Let me tell you this. And Dr. Gale, we need you to unmute your mic because you're going to be joining us pretty soon. Let me say this. Last night, and I'm making a personal statement, and I can with her approval. I had the pleasure of seeing a private screening of the movie Teal. Ollie Gordon, his cousin, who lived in the home with him and his mother, Mamie Teal Mobley, called and said, Claire, I'm coming to the show with you. Let me be very clear. That whole scenario, and now that's coming up about the woman who whistled and how she's 80 plus years old right now. I don't care. She need to be in court. That's just me. She need to get her day in court for real. And we have people who can make that happen. That is why we're electing. You need to know, like they say, your top 5. Who is your state rep? Who is your alderman? Who is your, you have to know your top 5. But I'm gonna let Dr. Gale handle that because she gonna dig in that. But let me be clear, just to have that moment. And we were hearing and how Mamie stood with her father in court. That process is still ongoing, and we have much work to do. We haven't even tapped the surface at all. So what I want to do is this. We had quite a bit of engagement. We did have Mr. Charles Holliday there, but if I can, I just want to share, there are some people, we know there are opportunities to work on election day. I got an email from Karen Yarbrough's office. We would love servicemen and women, veterans, to be at the polls. They're offering veterans opportunities to work the polls, make the money, learn the training. You still have time. So what I'm going to do is this. I want to share with you, everyone, for anything you've seen here today after this broadcast, this is going to be on 5 outlets. It's going to play on my good friend Ray Neal Media. It's going to be on WOSD Radio. It's going to be on iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, and somebody else. And it's going to be on the homepage of clairehubbard.org. We are not playing. We're giving everyone an opportunity. As my my senior advocate, Mr. What is his name? William Scott, who is on the ground somewhere, he knocks on doors in his resident senior building from the top down. And one of the things that we want everyone to understand when you're watching these videos, if you need to know where your polling place is, I don't know how many times I even talked to Mr. Holliday at before we started our event on Saturday. I said, my early voting place changed since June. What happened? I'm used to going one place and he told me what happened and, there was some redistricting. So everyone, when they say black folk don't read, let's not play that game. If the material comes in the hand from the Board of Elections, wherever, please read it. Ask questions. There is room and information for you. We're not going to say, oh, we didn't know. We're not going to play that game. We all have an opportunity to cast our vote and also be impactful, but also be responsible to do it. All right. I feel like Dr. Gale Jr. All right. I got excited. All right. Everyone stay tuned. We're going to just play a video because there are opportunities for the community. If you choose to work, there's opportunities to work on election day. Then when we come back, we're going to bring Dr. Gale Frazier on. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Karen Yarbrough, your Cook County clerk, and we're looking for people to work this election. Hi, I'm Karen Yarbrough, your Cook County clerk, and we're looking for people to work this election. Hi, I'm Karen Yarbrough, your Cook County clerk.
Let's try something else.
And we're Hi, I'm Karen Yarbrough, your Cook County clerk, and we're looking for people to work this election.
People who work on election day can earn up to $365. These positions are crucial to our election day operations.
There are 2 positions to choose from, election judge and polling place technician. Election judges assist in the setup of all voting equipment, help process voters, and ensure the voting process runs smoothly. This requires 1 training course and pays $200. Polling place technicians perform all the duties of election judges and are also responsible for maintaining and fixing the equipment. This position requires 2 training courses and pays $365. To be eligible to work, you must be a U.S. citizen and be a registered voter in Cook County. For more information about applying to be a poll worker, visit cookcountyclerk.com/.
All right, so I just had to bring that to everyone's attention because there is an opportunity. Don't just sit at home. If you're able-bodied, you can probably answer the phone. They got work for you. And then we'll bring up later in our broadcast the voting new equipment that makes it even more advanced for us. Like they got that touch thing. We're going to work it out. So I have heard the name Dr. Gale Frazier for quite some time. Never knew you personally, just knew your advocacy. And more importantly, you for real. You about the business of serious business. And so I even videotape your comments on Saturday because I just like to hear from powerful people and also powerful women. And so you are definitely that person. So everyone, welcome to Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard today as we are talking about Senior Votes Matter. The one and only Dr. Gale Frazier. How are you this beautiful day?
God bless you, woman of God, and Elder Smith. And it is such a blessing and an honor to be on your broadcast today. I mean, it means so much to me. When Elder Layaird sent the SOS out, I said, hey, I got to be on here. And when you were talking about it, when we were there on Saturday saying we need to get together. And so I'm in with you. So thank you so very much. It's a blessing being here. I love you. And I love the viewers who are on here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So what I want to do is this, introduce yourself and then talk about the platform that you represent, because it was much motion after you spoke and we got work to do.
Well, praise God. Well, the thing is as I've already been introduced, but I am the chairperson for the National Black Agenda Consortium. And the National Black Agenda Consortium has a book, and it's called the National Black Agenda. Yeah. Now, the thing is that if a person wants to download the actual printed copy, there you go. Elder Layaird is holding his up right now, the National Black Agenda. And that is what we promote. When I say we, I'm talking about those of us who are concerned about our community and our people. It's called Black Agenda because that's exactly what it is. It's for Black folks, and it was purposely written for Black folks, for us in mind. And the way it was written is that it came subject matter experts as well as boots on the ground folk came together, and we did several months of writing, several weeks and several months of writing and rewriting. And it's a book that you can run with it. It tells you what the individuals can do, what the community can do, as well as establishing policies that we must adhere to. And so the thing is so I serve as the chair for that. And I'm also going to say I serve as the national dean for the U.S. Minority Contractors Association. But we're not talking about that today, but it is pertaining to, procurement and everything like that for Black folks. And we are, of course, concerned about everybody, but our primary target is pertaining to Black people because we're the ones that's in need. So that's pretty much a general thing. I could say more about myself. I am an ordained minister, but I'm not going to get into all of that today. But the platform is that we have to vote our agenda. And we have for so long and for too long been voting for everybody else to the extent that we don't even consider ourselves anymore. And because of the fact that we have been trained to vote like this, we begin to feel guilty when we actually say, hey, it's time for me to think about myself. It's time for me to think about my own people. And so this is where we're pushing now. And so Elder Layaird, called for us to come together to address the community, to let the community know that it's imperative. This is not something that's an option. Voting is necessary because this is how we get our information out. Holding people accountable, that's most important. Because what happens is that people say, well, I voted, but nothing happened. But we have to look at ourselves and say, do we hold folks accountable for the votes that we've given unto them? And then the part of accountability is so crucial because a lot of times, because we vote for people who look most like ourselves, we feel that we don't have to hold them accountable. But you do have to hold them accountable.
That's right.
Putting these people in office, they have to do what you want them to do. We're sending them to represent us. And so the whole thing, and then of course we have to vote with a moral conscience. That's the thing, and that's one of the things that I really stand on in that platform. You just don't give your vote away.
That's right.
It's because somebody said, oh, this person is nice, or this person is this, or this person is that. You don't just give your vote away. And we have been conditioned and trained to do that. So one of the things that we really have to focus on now in this season is we get out the vote. I know Elder Layaird said register. And what did you say? Organize. And what else, Elder Layaird? Mobilize. Well, the Black Agenda's mantra is educate, organize, and mobilize, because the people have to be educated to know what what policies and different things is on the table, in addition to knowing the judges. Okay, knowing the judges and what they stand for, because these judges can lock folks up. You know, we have so many things against us, and I always tell people, and I'll say this again: anytime you hear somebody say that they're tough on crime, you better believe it's going to be pertaining to Black folks being locked up. Okay, so we got to know those code words. We have to be engaged in the process, and we have to make it our business to do our research. So those are the things that I'll just put out right now for us to really be clear on. We can't just give away our votes. We have to be intelligent, and we have to be intentional in everything that we do as it pertains to the vote. So I'll be quiet for a minute and let you take it away.
No, I'm on the receiving end, and I just want to do this. Because there is a new voting process, or enhanced prayerfully. There's a video that I have. It's going to take about 4 minutes, but it's talking about how to use the new voting machine.
That's great.
It's critical. And then when we come back, I want us to talk about something that was mentioned in that rally on Saturday, and that is, where is the element of energy for voting that we had when we were voting for Harold Washington?
Oh, come on.
Okay, I mean, so that we're gonna ride to the end with that.
Yeah,
but everyone, let me tell you, I got my Harold Washington button. I'm gonna go find it because I just keep it as a symbol for me. You know what I mean? It's just real talk, and that I don't want to get into that. All right, I want to show this piece because as promised, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna dig into if Harold Washington was here. How about
Absolutely.
that? Let's put a tag on it. We'll put a tag on it. All right, everyone, you're still watching Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard. This is your version of Senior Votes Matter with Elder Layaird Smith and Dr. Gale Frazier. We'll be right back after this message from the Chicago Board of Elections. We ain't gonna fight with it today. It's gonna pop up when it's ready. Maybe. I just watched it. All right. Well, in the meantime, let's dig into this momentous time. I remember the year myself. Was not a first-time voter at the time when Harold Washington was here. But if you two can just talk about the energy. I mean, there was so many philanthropic organizations. I'm talking, my mama worked at the Urban League. I was at so many places on 45th in Indiana and Michigan eating, and we were just all out in the community, making our voices known. What was that engagement like, and how do you want to share that time?
You know, I mean, if I could just say, that was a most phenomenal time in our history. And I have to say, you know, and it's interesting that you bring that up, because those of us who really know about the Harold Washington era, one thing about that brother, he was a no-nonsense brother, but he was a loving and kind person, and he loved his people. He was not a sellout. Okay, he was not a sellout. He stood for principles, and he was concerned about us as Black folks. He was concerned about other people, but you better doggone know that brother was concerned about us, and he made it very clear. And then another thing that was so critical about it is that he was intelligent and articulate. Right now, we got folks in the office. It's like, where in the world did they come from? This brother being an attorney, he knew the law. He knew he knew his craft. He was just phenomenal. And he didn't take down. That's the thing about it. You know, folks say you got to compromise on this and compromise on that. That brother didn't take down when it came to things pertaining to us. Not like what you see today, that everybody's taking down when it comes for us, but not doing anything to help us, those who are in office. And I'm not talking about all of them. Certainly we have some good workers, you know, people in there representing, but I'm saying his spirit was that of a true warrior.
Yes.
And he was a true warrior to the bone. He was a warrior, and that's the reason why he was respected and honored, because he was a man of integrity. And when he said something, he acted on what he said. So I'm gonna be quiet because I can keep on going on about the brother. But
no. This is Gumbo Show. We all in. It's all in. So let me ask you this, Elder Layaird Smith.
Yes, please.
As a male, and then seeing our first, hallelujah, Black male mayor of the city of Chicago. What was that movement like for you? Because you've been engaging for years. I mean, you just ain't started this thing, you know. So what was your engagement? What were you doing at that time?
Well, first of all, I was very, very proud to know that, just as Dr. Frazier stated, that we had someone of such high integrity.
I'm saying.
And that he represented, us well.
He did.
And that he was for us, and he gave us a clear visual of what it could be like.
Yes.
And what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and Harold Washington was in the process of making some serious moves. Matter of fact, a lot of the things that we have experienced, although they kind of like stopped him, he was moving in a direction that was going to make a difference for Black people.
Tell the truth.
Absolutely.
You follow me? And that's the thing that I remember most about him, is that, no nonsense. He spoke his mind, and he didn't play.
He didn't. He did not.
He didn't play.
He
did not play.
Mm-mm.
He said he was like, if I said something that hurt your feelings, guess what? I meant it.
Come on now. Come on.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And
you follow what I'm saying? Because he didn't mix no words.
Yeah. He did the politics.
Yeah,
he
and he didn't play with nobody.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
anyway, that's what I remember about him.
Yeah. Let me say this too. My mother worked at the Urban League, and let me tell you, we need to pray for our civic organizations again. Yes. We need to come on back up.
Yeah. Amen.
And be responsible.
Yes.
Be very clear. Some of us are, as you would say, Dr. Gale, some of us choose our elected officials because he or she said so. We ain't did no research.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't go to the church and sit and let the preacher tell me the scripture if I ain't read it myself.
Come on now.
It's the same thing. And how you gonna? That's why I mentioned, I asked my seniors, and we're kind of short on time in regards to this coming election. We got to show up, but come February, we all gonna be using Civics 101. We're gonna dissect it because it's critical.
It is.
It's very critical. And I just don't understand. I told my seniors, please, and I hold different town halls with them just to go to their buildings. It's 50 of y'all, but give me 3 topics when that person comes in.
Wow.
Everybody can't be heard, but at least if we can get on 3, we got a starting point.
Absolutely.
We got a starting point. So here I am, praise Jesus, where it is. Got my button.
Yes.
I keep it. It's just like it's in my purse. Sometimes something gonna pop up because that energy, how do we bring it back? How do we engage our community? I mean, we were working on all parts of the city, and we were working in collaboration.
Absolutely.
And I told somebody today on a call, my sister Connie Sullivan on the West Side, I said, look, competition makes us faster, but collaboration is going to make us greater.
Absolutely.
So are we going to work together? Because we all trying to get to the same point. We all have an agenda. So Dr. Gale, please do me a gracious favor.
Yes, ma'am.
After this broadcast, send the link so we can purchase. I was slow. I missed getting mine on the day of, and I was so upset. I ran when we were over. He was like, we sold out, which is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
People want information. So how do we take our present time right now with our city? God bless. And let me tell you all something. This is in part 2 to this interview. I just watched this video, if you can all find it, with Deion Sanders. He went off. He told the young men at Jackson State, we going to Houston to play this weekend. That's where that young rapper was killed.
Oh, yes.
And he said, I'm going to tell you this. Your parents and your cousins and your friends are going to have to visit you at the hotel. You will not be outside. You will not be in a social environment because I am responsible for you. People have no respect of person. And if you're doing something different in your life, you got to be around a new environment. I can't go back to what I was doing.
Absolutely.
So, that video, I sat startled. I watched it literally just about 15 minutes before this broadcast, but I understood when you're doing something different and you're making changes and your agenda is changing and your platform is changing, I can't go back there. There's a new environment. There's a new energy that I have to set forth because that is my assignment. And so watch that video, everyone. I'm encouraging. I'm going to try to post it. And of course, put up I do not own the rights to, but he told them, tell your family, your aunties, whoever come to visit you, y'all come, they got to come to the hotel. Well, I got you.
And if I could just chime in on what you said, we don't have to apologize for that. You know, we don't have to apologize, like Elder Lanier was talking about Mayor Washington. I mean, if he said something, he meant it. I mean, if feelings got hurt, so what?
What was his time? If you want hell, you got him.
I'm telling you, because we don't have to apologize, because God is doing a new thing in the earth. And those of us who understand the timing and the season where we're in, we don't have time to be shucking and jiving with anybody.
That's
okay,
right.
it's like we love you, but we're going to keep it moving because our destinies depend on us doing what we're supposed to do to help our people. We got children, we got young people out here. We have to be on point doing our work. And just if I could just say one thing, that's one of the reasons why young people don't really honor the legacy of many of the people who are in office now, because it's like, what do you represent? And when you give the impression that you double-tongued, you say one thing behind this closed door, then you say something else around the other closed door, then that makes you disingenuous. Why should somebody want to follow you? And so these are the things that we have to look out and consider when we talk about voting for folks.
Let me say this. I want both of you with your own. This is not a closed remark. We can talk as long as I want to. I own this stuff. But I want us to talk about, we know some of our local politicians are in their better days.
Yes, true.
Why haven't we seen anybody passing the baton or nurturing? You know what I mean? What is that hiccup, or what is that I think it's selfish that you don't want to put anybody else in place to represent the longevity of your skill level. So Elder Land, I'm gonna let you take over. I'm gonna let you start that one because it's driving me. I don't see anyone. I mean, and if I'm wrong, I would love to share the experience. I am okay with that. I just want to see who has the baton.
Yeah.
There are many of our elders who are in better years. Hello, in big organizations. Hello, very clear.
Yeah.
No names to be named, but I'm saying who has the baton. Even some ministers got smart enough to say, I'm gonna go sit down. Huh? So Elder Landry, you go first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could like you said, I could talk about this for a long time, and I'm glad you allowed me to go first because I definitely want Dr. Frazier to have the closing remarks on this. And the truth of the matter is that, you know, whenever you are self-focused, when it's all about you, then you're not looking at the big picture. Therefore, you self-centered, and that is the biggest reason, and that is one of the biggest travesties to the Black community, to be very honest with you, is that you have some of these elected officials that have been in these positions far too long. And they have been in these positions far too long and been ineffective. Been ineffective for far too long.
That's it.
So first of all, you hold in the position and then you're not effective in the position. Now, to me, that ain't only greed. That's just you're working for the enemy. How there is no reason for our communities to look the way that they do for the terms that some of these people been in office.
Absolutely. Preach.
But you know what, Elder Leonard, but that's our fault.
That's what I was going to say.
Because you know what, we ain't making them accountable.
We're not making them accountable.
I don't need no turkey. I don't need no turkey this year. Just like someone said, hey, we giving out food baskets coming up. Did you register to vote, sir or ma'am? That's real talk.
That's real talk.
I mean, we got socialization. I'm going to a senior stepper set. Are they registered? Because some of them have not. And some of them refuse. And some of them get mad. I mean, let's be clear. We're coming to where you are. Your red hat, your peak hat, your bridge cup. If you need to register to vote, tell somebody. As a matter of fact, let me put this up. You can call the Senior Talk office. It's 312-428-6919. I'm not playing.
But Claire,
Yes, sir.
let me reiterate this, because we hear a lot about registration. But you got to be clear that if all three parts of the process do not take place, you're not going to see voter turnout. If you can register somebody, but if they're not educated, they ain't going to the polls. And if they don't have a way to get to the polls, they ain't getting to the polls.
Hey,
we have to make sure that all three of those things are in place. It's a process. Voting is a process. It's just not voters registration.
Yes,
you got to educate them.
Yeah.
You got to mobilize them, and you got to make sure that they get there. If
and
not,
we also, you know how we are. We got to watch the weather.
Oh yeah,
really. But let me say this: today I was watching, and I want both of you engaged. We got more time. I was watching MSNBC this morning, and someone brought it to the vast attention. We're not voting statewide. We're talking about for our community. My daily needs. That's what we got to understand. We are voting for our daily needs. That's why you mentioned judges. Hello?
Yes.
Hear me clearly. We got a running list that we get from Code Policy that I endorse. Do I endorse anyone? No, I am nonpartisan, but I am, to be very clear, there is a list that you could do your research. Everybody pretty much has a phone. Google their name. Find out what they have done or have not done.
You got to know their record.
That's
you got to
right.
know how they vote, what issues they vote on. I mean, what things they respond to, and so forth and so on. Because the reality is that these judges have more power than people realize.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you just willy-nilly go down the list and say, the name sounds okay, and then just start picking them. I mean, this is something that's really critical. And to add to that, you had mentioned about Cole, and I thank God for Cole, because Cole does put a running tally of different judges to vote for and all those things, which is a blessing. But judges are by far the most important group, and you can't just go by television antics. You can't just go by TV airwave things that they put on to say, oh, we're this, we're that. But I'm saying we got to know the code words, and we have to know what their record is in terms of how they deal with our people, and that's the key right there.
Our sons and daughters sitting in court. There is one particular judge, I can't remember his name, and I'm not going to say it, but he just every sentence was the same.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then when you factor in, just going there for a little bit, the mandatory minimum sentences, that they give, our people are most impacted. They get the longest terms of penalties. Okay, and so we know that justice is not justice. It's not just. So it's unrighteous actually. But the reality is that if we ignorantly throw away our votes and start voting for these judges that we don't know about, it's going to be a serious problem. It's going to be a very serious problem. And so, that's one of the things that we definitely have to be focused on. But I'm going to still encourage people, as Elder Layaird and yourself, both of you all have been standing on Saturday, reiterating that you have to vote, not just because we say you have to vote, but that's your voice on a particular situation, in addition to issues, because they also have referendum stuff up there and everything. And so you have to understand what that means. So, this, like you said, the civics 101, that's what we need to be on.
We're going to bring it back. And let me say this. We will be engaging throughout the next process, because we got to vote again in February. So we got to start yesterday.
Yes.
For February.
Absolutely.
And one of the brothers who I really am going to get on our platform is, since you did bring him to our attention, and I've met him, Brother Cy Smith.
Oh, yes.
Elder Leonard, can you talk about a little bit what your knowledge is of the National Block Club University?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had the pleasure of working with Brother Cyron Smith from the National Block Club University. And one of the reasons that he and I work very well together is because we're kind of structured similarly, but you talking about a strategist. This guy is, first of all, he's a military guy, and everything, if you don't understand him and his code, because he does a lot of stuff in code, and that's for reasons. Because but the way it works is basically the structure is it's a block by block strategy. Okay, but not only that, he makes sure that every area, like each one of the industries, is covered. He's making sure that other parts of the country, he understands the impact and the importance of our community being connected with the motherland, with Africa. I mean, this thing is just so huge, and then we're connected with other cities, and every age group is connected. So the thought that has gone into the National Block Club University is just is so vast, and he has not missed a beat. But his attention to detail
Yes.
is just, he is so thorough, and his heart for his people is just, I mean, I can't say enough about him. I have so much, I admire him so much, and it's just an honor to work with him. I mean, to the point where he's so concerned even about the impact of this. Human trafficking is another issue he follows very, very closely. He's on top of the actual murders that are actually happening in our community, and they're not just numbers. So these are some of the things that he actually does. And so National Block Club University does excellent work. And I'll let Dr. Frazier talk about it, because she's been working with him even longer than I have.
Right. So thank you so much, Elder Layaird. Yes, of course, the things that Elder Layaird said about Brother Cyron is so important. But also another thing that's so important is the fact that he does not accept or get government funding, that the people give donations and all of those things to make it happen. And why is that important? Because he's not in somebody's pocket. You know what I'm saying? You hear the term about it. And so he doesn't have to be concerned about the backlash from somebody saying you said the wrong thing. And that's something like even with the National Black Agenda Consortium, the work that we do, it comes out of our own personal pockets, the love that we have for our people. And that's one of the reasons why we have not been able to push it as far as we want, because we, as far as donations and things like that, we don't really get donations. Not saying that we don't want them, but as far as accepting public funds, that we would have to be accountable to somebody, so that when we speak, we have to speak our conscience, we have to speak the spirit, we have to speak. So that's one of the things about Brother Cyron, is that that's the way it is. And the thing that's so beautiful about his is the fact that he has a day, a teacher's day, where they'll reach out to all of the teachers, and and then they have a carpenter's day, where the carpenters, so it's all linked. It's a well linked up. It's like a grid, and it's all linked up. And as Elder Layaird was saying, it's connected to the continent. So a group of zip codes may be connected to Liberia, and then somebody else, and he knows it all in his head, just like that.
Let me say, when he on Saturday, when he pulled out that piece of paper,
that's right.
I don't even think the aldermen in those areas knew as thorough of information. It was pinpoint, line by line.
Absolutely.
So I know he has this big senior group, and we're going to be connecting, and I definitely have to get his information. I lost it, new phone, all that craziness. But that meeting that you put together, Elder, I don't know what to say.
It was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was more than
absolutely
the right time. There was no other place to be but there.
No place.
And my time. And there was willingness, engagement. I even heard from Kim, I don't know her last name. Yes, from the Panhellenic Council. She said she'll come back on. And then we heard from others that were there with Chicago Vote. So we got a plethora of things. We're not in it. We're just starting. So this is day one. Hallelujah.
Well, we have to really commend you for doing this, because like I said, I used to get, I would get, still, the information from Clara Hubbard, and when I looked at you, I said, and then you had to explain, like, oh, okay, I'm not really, because I was like, come on, you said, I'm Clara Hubbard, but it was really a blessing being there, because people were flowing in one accord. And the thing that was also a blessing is the fact that all of us were together, we were unified. And so back to your thing, when you asked about the Harold Washington movement, that's the way it was then.
Yeah.
But but it was more of a heightened sense. So we have to get our people, and I believe all of these tragedies and different things that's happening is causing us. And I say it's divine providence. I tell everybody, I say this is the providential hand of God moving on our behalf, because as you see all of the devastations and the different things, and it seems as if it's geared towards us, then that causes people to say, I gotta come, let's get together, let's coalesce, let's do this. And now everybody, they seem to have a heightened sense of wanting to do something to help their people. And that part is a blessing. Now, my only prayer is those who have the big dollars, the big bucks, if they would also get in line with this too, because there are many righteous and conscious organizations that's going forth, that's hanging on a shoestring.
Yes, ma'am.
It means if you can get these folks, the Oprah Winfrey's and Denzel's, and I'm not saying that they're not doing anything, but for the monies to come down to the organizations that's out here been doing it for years, get the monies. That's what we need. And I know everybody trying to hold on to their purse strings and stuff like that, but this is not the time to do this. This is a time for us to be impactful and make a difference in the lives of our people and our children.
That's right.
Our young people.
I'm encouraging every senior, if you can, if you have your grandchild, you watch them on November 8th, take them to the polls. Let them share the experience with you.
Yes.
And also what is critical too is this. I remember years ago, and this is back in the Urban League days with Jim Compton, hallelujah, and Jim Taylor. These are my mama's bosses. I remember in some regards when we had our aunties, we would have meetings in the home or in the basement, frying chicken and talking about, here's the plan. And let me ask either of you, because we got a few more minutes. Then I promise I'm gonna let y'all go. This is beautiful. Where I remember years ago when my family migrated from the West Side to Roseland, we had a precinct captain that came and said, "Hey, it's voting day. Y'all going? Have y'all been?" Honest to God, it was a woman. She would walk 117th Michigan State, Wabash, and asked us, "Did we go vote?" Do we have precinct captains? And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but that's another engagement right there in your community.
That's amazing. I don't think we do, but Elder Layaird, do you know? Because I've not seen any in years.
But that's real talk right there.
It is real talk.
Yeah, well, I think in some places you do still have that, but by and large, I don't think so. I think it's it's kind of like, no, not really. But I have been hearing a couple of things. I have been hearing people trying to get re-engaged with block clubs. I've been hearing a lot about block clubs.
Yes, sir.
And then out of that, I have been hearing more about, having people. I've been hearing the rumblings of precinct captains. But I haven't really seen it or heard or run into any precinct captains.
Neither.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm just saying, in my youth, I mean, I'm 51, but in my youth, I remember that precinct captain.
For real.
She would come. Y'all been to vote today? Y'all know where y'all got to go?
See?
And that was engagement, so that's something that's easy to fix. Yeah. I don't even think that was a paid position.
I don't know.
But still, somebody would want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it might have to be me. I may have to just go ring out. Have you voted? Give me a bullhorn in my car. Have you voted? Do you know where you're going? I don't mind doing it.
You seem like one already. So
well,
you already seem like one.
So on voting day, we're coming up with, let's mention we are 5 days away. This is November the 3rd. But hello, everyone. This information is not going to expire. It's going to be prevalent even come February.
Absolutely.
And we're going to tackle that as well. So what are your plans of engagement, Elder Smith, on November the 8th?
Well, right now, I want to just encourage everybody to get out and vote. I'm going to do whatever I can to get people to the polls. I'm going to make sure that we're implementing mobilization strategies in all of the zip codes where we had leadership. We're going to be focusing on trying to partner with the churches who have those buses just sitting there. They just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ask you to engage them buses. Try to get as many people to the polls as you can. We're working with people that are going to be going around picking up students at these high schools.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Hey, come on, we're going to take you to the polls. It's one thing to have registered 100 students, but how you going to get them to the polls on election day?
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So all that's really what my focus is going to be, is how do we get those people that are registered? How do we help them get to the polls? You need a ride? Anybody need a ride? Just make sure we got people giving people rides to the polls.
Amen. And I want to put out a special note. I did in past, I have to get the updated information. I work with some women at the University of Chicago Hospital called A Few Good Nurses.
Oh,
And that is their responsibility, is just get seniors to the polls. So we're going to get that information updated. If they are providing transportation, which they did the last 2 elections, everyone stay tuned. You're going to find on clairehubbard.org. But A Few Good Nurses, they got together and engaged some people and say, can you provide us with some vehicles to get our senior community and patients to the polls? So I love that thought. All right, Dr. Gale, we're going to let you close us out. That's all I'm going to say, let you close us out. But it's been a pleasure.
yes.
And we have much work to do. This is day one
Yes,
of
we
many.
do. We have to.
We are still walking on the regiment
Absolutely.
of our beloved Harold.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if you all are familiar with the Harold Washington Legacy Committee.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And Miss Josie, and I have to give a shout out to Miss Josie, because Miss Josie is well in her 80s.
Yeah.
But Miss Josie runs the Harold Washington Legacy Committee, and they have their ongoing meetings because they want to continue the legacy of the great honorable late Mayor Harold Washington. So, when we talk about Harold Washington, it's not like we're idolizing him.
Yeah.
But God gave him such a spirit of tenacity. And the thing that I loved about him, as I said before, is that he was a warrior. We need more warriors. He was a ride or die kind of man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is important. We have to get to the point where we are sold out for the cause. And like Elder Lanier was talking about, about the greed and stuff like that. We don't have time we can't be into that selfish, vainglory, greedy spirit. The Bible calls them greedy dogs. The bottom line is that we have to get to the point where we die to ourselves so that we can help our people get to it. And it doesn't mean that we're supposed to take a vow of poverty. I'm not trying to go there, but I'm saying we can't get to the point where we're so stuck on ourselves that it's us four and no more.
Oh my
Us
goodness.
four and no more. We can't do that.
Let me tell you this. Yeah.
What did you say, sis?
No. You on my street, because you know what? Some of us like the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
You feel satisfied with nothing. Oh, they just said it's just gonna be all right. You mean to tell me I serve a big guy and you serious?
And that's what I'm talking about.
You're satisfied with nothing. Yes, ma'am.
Having that mindset to know that when we die to self, and like I said, it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy life, and I'm not trying to say this, but you get to the point where you are more concerned about the good of your people than you are your own self. Not saying that you're denying yourself in the sense that you having your family starving. I don't want anybody to take it to that extreme, but we have it on the other end so extreme where folks just concerned about themselves, being greedy dogs, taking money, doing things that they ought not do, while the people in the community are perishing. And folks know who they are. So if anybody's listening to this, if you happen to be one of those folks, I'm talking about you, because the reality is that you cannot just be concerned about yourself and think other people are going to be blessed and other people are going to benefit. No, we have to die to ourselves and do what's righteous. And those of us who are believers in Christ, believers in the Word of God, believers know that that's the spirit, that the radical spirit of Jesus. And I'm not going to get into all of that, but he was a radical.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
he was a revolutionary, and he didn't play.
He didn't play.
So what makes us think that we're supposed to be a bunch of punks, and when we get into office, we acquiesce to everything somebody tells us? We just go along to get along because we want to hold our doggone position in whatever office that is for 5 and 6 and 7 and 10 decades. I'll close on that note for me.
Yes, you did. Well, let me say this. We're not officially closed. Elder Leonard, you got 1 minute.
I'm sorry.
No. It's all received. We don't challenge us here. I'm on the receiving end. It's all right. But Elder Leonard, let me tell you, you got 1 minute. I need you to talk about the upcoming Because We Vote.
Yeah.
Throw those dates out for us, because they are on clairehubbard.org/voting, and you'll find all this information there. But go ahead, if you would, please.
So our last run is that we have several town halls going on for the remainder, all the way up to the election. Tonight we'll be at Paul Revere Elementary School, tonight. And then tomorrow we'll be at AFC Church on 79th and
Ashland.
79th and Ashland.
Right.
And then on the 7th, we close out with our final town hall at Parkway Gardens United Community, Christian Community Church on November 7th. And all of these are designed to just give people to give people information, to educate them, and to mobilize them. Talk about the issues so they know how to vote, to vote their choice. Okay, so that's it.
All right. So what we're going to do is this. We got 2 assignments. We want everyone first go to clairehubbard.org/voting. Find out how you can also learn to vote. The new equipment, that video is there on election day. Please know you can still early vote. Make that your option. Make sure you have your present and valid ID. Hello, hallelujah. Let's make sure we have that. And then you're going to also do me a favor, and that is Dr. Gale Frazier is going to send the link to her book so we can purchase the National Black Agenda. Let me tell you, I was so mad when I couldn't get my copy. I thought I was ahead of the game.
You know what? You had a chance right off when you first came in there and said, here they are right here.
No, that's on me, but I'm going to take care of that. We're going to take care of it.
Okay, love. We love you so much.
Absolutely. So everyone, as I mentioned, this is Senior Votes Matter on behalf of Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. I'm your granddaughter in the community, and we're thanking you for making us a part of your day. Please remember that Election Day is November 8th. Please have everything in line and ready to be present and put to exercise your vote. We do ask you to do one thing specifically, and that is to do a little research on those who are asking and seeking your vote. Be very, very, very clear. So as we say in closing, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I've been Clara Hubbard, your granddaughter in the community. Our special guest today was Elder Layaird Smith and Dr. Gale Frazier. We loaded and locked it. We got it done today. Thank you for making it part of your day. We'll see you real soon. Everyone, take care.
God bless.
My thing is just, where is she going?